So there are other types of inequalities, just like we had other types of equations. So we're going to practice some more solving. So we have 3q is greater than or equal to 7q minus 23. And we're going to solve the inequality, graph the solution, write the solution in interval notation. So what we really want is, I always like to get my q on the left-hand side. Then I don't have to worry about that wraparound thing. So I'm going to subtract 7q from both sides. Now some people might say, well, I'd rather have it be positive so I don't have to deal with a negative sign. For me, I'd rather deal with a negative sign. So I'm going to have negative 4q on the left-hand side is greater than or equal to, I haven't changed my sign because I haven't multiplied or divided by a negative number. All I did was subtract 7q from both sides. And then I have, those cancel out, I have the negative 23. Okay, so now I'm going to divide by a negative number. I'm going to divide by negative 4. And so I'm going to have q, I have to switch the inequality because I divided by a negative number, is less than or equal to, and then a negative divided by a negative is positive, so it's going to be 23/4. So it's a fraction, it's an improper fraction. That's okay. I'm going to draw my number line over here. Now let's see, 23/4, it's going to be almost 6. So let's put a 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 23/4 is going to be about here. 23/4. Okay, so I'm really thinking in my mind, well, 5 3/4. I'm thinking in terms of mixed numbers, but we usually write it to avoid confusion with the multiplying that we do and all of that. So we just leave it as an improper fraction. Now our q is less than or equal to, so it's going to be a square bracket, and it's going to be less than, so off to the left. Left for less than. Another thing students have noticed is that you'll notice that this arrow and this arrow are going in the same direction, so I don't know if that helps. And it's a less than, so but that only works if you have your variable on the left again. Okay, so interval notation says, parenthesis, we start from the smallest, so negative infinity up to 23/4 and a square bracket on the 23/4. Now, why did we start with a parenthesis? Because negative infinity is always going to get a parenthesis. Okay, that's the interval notation, and that's that one. So now we have another one. Same directions, solve it, graph it, interval notation. Okay, so we have some distributing to do. 9y plus 2y plus 12 is greater than 5y minus 24. So we take the same approach that we do with equations, and really the only difference is, one thing, I like to have my variable on the left, and the other thing is, if I multiply or divide by a negative number, I have to switch my inequality. Okay, so on the left-hand side, gathering like terms, I get 11y plus 12 is greater than 5y minus 24. Okay, I want to get the y's together, so I'm going to subtract 5y from both sides. And so I get 6y plus 12 is greater than negative 24. Now I need to get rid of the 12, so I'm going to subtract 12. And I get 6y is greater than negative 36. So far we're just going through these steps, trying to get y by itself, just like we would with an equation. It's good practice for us. Okay, so now I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So I have y. Now, did I divide by a negative sign or a negative number? No. So the inequality stays the same. It's going to stay a greater than. So y is greater than. Now, what's negative 36 divided by 6? Negative 6. Right? A negative divided by a positive is negative. So that's the statement. Y is greater than negative 6. Here comes the graph. So here I am at negative 6. And now I want all the numbers that are greater than negative 6 and not equal to. So I need the parenthesis at negative 6, and then greater than. So off to the right. Interval notation, it's going to look like parenthesis, -6 to infinity, parenthesis. I hope that was a fun problem. Is that it? Yeah.